Krishna Prasthapitala Shrimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pachani Nirvisesha Sanyavari Paschachari Sitane Om Magyanati Granjana Shalakaya Chakshun Malatam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master has kindly opened my eyes with a shining torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I therefore offer my respectful obeisances unto his lotus feet. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Okay, we are on the chapter 8.
Yes. Text number 2.
2. We have to read the Sanskrit as well, is it?
Yeah, we're just starting this one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Adiyagna katam kotra.
Adiyagna katham kotra.
Dehesmin madhusudana.
Dehesmim madhusudana.
Prayana kale chakatam.
Prayana kale cha katham.
Gayosi niyatatmabi.
Gayosi niyatatmabhi. Who is the Lord of sacrifice, and how does he lives in the body, O Madhusudana? And how can those engaged in devotion service know you at the time of the death?
So these are continuation of Arjuna's questions.
Yes.
From the text 1. Text 1, he asked some questions.
Yeah.
What were the questions he asked? He said, what is Brahman? What is the self? What are fruitive activities? What is this material manifestation? And what are the demigods? Please explain this to me. So now he's asking 3 more questions in this verse. So this is the nature of a devotee. A devotee should be very inquisitive to find out about spiritual topics. We should ask questions to a authority. When we have a spiritual authority that knows the truth, there's no point asking questions to a fool, but we should ask questions to some enlightened Krishna conscious person. And this is the nature of a devotee. We should have questions. We should be inquisitive. We should want to learn. If you don't have questions, that's not a good sign. That means not much going on inside. We're not thinking very much, not using our intelligence. But it's very natural that in the material world, we're all coming from a background of ignorance, right? So there's a lot of ignorance there. That's the nature of the material world, is ignorance. So we should want to remove the ignorance, we should want to remove the ignorance. So how do you remove the ignorance? That's what we need knowledge. We need knowledge.
From the knowledge, yes.
Yeah.
Not a weapon.
So we should be very eager to get knowledge, Yeah. Like when the 6 Goswamis, like Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they had so many questions. The first questions that Sanatana Goswami asked was, who am I? Why am I suffering the 3-fold miseries? Like that. So that this is very good. We should have questions. Okay. So the first question he's asking in this verse is, who is the Lord of sacrifice? Why is this a good question? Because there's a lot of confusion, and you'd see that within Hindu society, right? About who is the supreme. One person will say Shiva is God. Someone else will say that Brahma is God. Someone will say, in Indra is God, or Ganesh is God, or, there'll be so many different opinions about who is the supreme, about who is God. Durga, some people are called Shaktas. That means they worship the energy. They worship the energy as the supreme. So the Shaktas, they worship Durga as the supreme. And the Shaivites, they worship Shiva. So this is very common. You'll have one group of Shaktas and a group of Shaivites, and then you'll have the Vaishnavas. They worship Vishnu as the supreme. But there's so many different opinions. So Arjuna here wants to confidently know, not that he doesn't know, but for the benefit of others. You see, even though a devotee might know a lot, but for the benefit of the common people who are ignorant, he may ask a question for their benefit also.
There's one lady next to the camp van. She was just one single lady. She bring that the camp van towing to there, and then her electricity wasn't working. She's, excuse me, you can help me that. I was helping that to electricity, and then that up and running there inside the camp van. She's using the kettle and the toaster and things. In the nighttime, we had a campfire, so I went to her in the campfire, and I was just talking about that. And then she's from Brisbane. Like Brisbane people comes here more because that's around 70-80 kilometers. When I say I'm from Newcastle, it's Newcastle 7 hours away. You coming all the way to camping here? I said, no, we are the Hare Krishnas, and then we came here to Muvalamba temple. He said, oh, okay, yeah, I know that, but what is it? And then I explained that, telling that this is this. But her level was very like a basic, like, the kindergarten. And I was talking about the high school. And then she just thinking, like, you have to be, if you talk on the same level, they understand. I was talking, what you and me were talking for the last 3 years about the Bhagavad Gita and all that.
Went over here.
Yes, she's going top of the head. Then I said, look, we start talking about the karma, And then I said, look, somebody born in the royal family in England, somebody born in Africa. So do we have a control of our birth? No. We're gonna born. So why does these things, like we are not in control, it means someone in control? So what have we got? According to the karma, you get a birth. And then you're born in a royal family or a devotee family or a poor family. But the karma. Like if you put it that a seed of lemon, you're not gonna get mango out of it. You'll get lemon. Simple as. So okay. And then I was just telling about, okay, this is the temple, hey, you have to visit the temple. Then I said, well, how do I more did that? So what I did, she came that afternoon and she's parking there, all the things here. Then I said, don't cook tonight because you're traveling a bit far and then you're setting up your tent and things there. I'll bring that food for you. So I took some prasadam. And I said, look, eat that one. And then you will be much better that rather than cooking and all that you just got here. And the whole idea is to give her a prasadam. So she said, okay, yeah, wonderful. That's very nice. That's good. So hopefully, I'll put the seed. She had a prasadam and she said, Hare Krishna. So her journey starts. Whenever future she's going to take it that to the temple, that's up to Krishna.
Nice.
But it's very important that to anyone come in your around circle or like over there in their like in camping ground, we were unknown to everyone. And then another camping ground, we asked him to take the photo, and we all get dressed up to going to the temple. I'm in the dhoti and tilak and all that, and then the ladies are in sari. And this is, you look so beautiful. What is it? And then we explain, Hare Krishna, this, like that. Okay. There's a couple, they both was listening, and then we made a halwa that day, and we give a little bit of halwa. And the prasadam, I say, has some sweet. So we took halwa to give it that too. He said, wow, what is it? I said, semolina pudding. It's just the sweet.
Yeah.
Cook in the ghee and then things like a bit of sugar and then brown sugar and then a bit of suji and all. So it's very nice. They just, okay, at least she had a prasadam. Someone serve prasadam, and then hopefully one day they will eager to go. Where we get the prasadam? Let's go to Muvlamba temple. I say, come to the
Yes.
temple sometime. So hopefully in future, if they come, that's
Nice.
but yeah, so it's very important. Like, and they don't like, my knowledge is not even much that, like, that question for that, who is the sacrifice, that, like, demigod and all, like, they all Krishna's energy, demigods and all that, but
Yeah.
there is a supreme power, and then energy is there, Ganesha, Lord Shiva, Hanuman, and then in Kali, whether it's there, but
Yeah.
it's emanates from there and then merge back in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
So they're all in the picture, but the question here is, who is the Lord of sacrifice? So there can't be 2 or 10 or 100 of those. There's only one supreme Lord, one person that you are supposed to offer the sacrifice to. Who are you supposed to sacrifice to? So the supreme enjoyer of all sacrifice is Krishna. So let's look at that. The end of the 5th chapter, 529, famous verse.
Yeah.
The peace formula.
A person in the full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entity, attain peace from the pangs of material miseries.
Yeah, so he's the enjoyer of all sacrifices. Not that, Indra and Ganesh and Durga and so forth are the enjoyer of all the sacrifices.
For example, like when we offer that prasadam to Prabhupada, and it means that goes to Krishna. You offer to your guru because your guru is a representative on the planet, and through guru you can offer to Krishna.
Yeah, so then your guru will offer it to his guru, who will offer it to like that. But they're not enjoying it. They're just passing it on. They're offering it to their next authority.
If the people offer that, make it a food to a Kali or Ganesha or Shiva, it'll go to the ultimate Krishna anyway.
No, it won't. No, it won't. No.
How come when we offer that to Prabhupada and goes to Krishna?
Yeah, but we're not offering it to Prabhupada because thinking he's the enjoyer of that offering. It's so the intention, our intention is to offer it to Krishna, but we're not qualified to offer to Krishna. We're not pure enough to offer to Krishna, so we're going to offer it to our spiritual master. But they're not going to enjoy it. The spiritual master is not enjoying your offering. They're just offering it up, passing it on, till it goes up to Krishna. The first one that enjoys it is Krishna.
Yeah.
And then after Krishna's enjoyed it, then it comes down. Then you start enjoying it. Who's the first one to enjoy it after Krishna enjoys it? Radharani. Then Radharani passes it to her servants, Lalita and Vishaka. Then it comes down like that. And that's the prasad, like that.
But then those who are worshipping Lord Shiva, they offer to Lord Shiva, or they offer through the Lord Shiva to Krishna?
No, their intention, see what's in their mind. Their intention is not to offer it to Vishnu through Lord Shiva. Their intention is that Lord Shiva is the supreme. We're offering it to Lord Shiva. So that offering is not going through to Vishnu, not going through to Krishna.
Same as a Hanuman as well. A lot of temple of the Hanuman. On Tuesday they're offering that lot of things there, but there's a deity of Hanuman. Behind that, there's a deity of.
See, I'll tell you what. Some temples, they know how it works properly, like Jagannath temple also, right? So there's a Shiva temple there also. So what they do, they offer it to Jagannath, right? They offer the food to Jagannath. Then the Jagannath prasad, they give that to Shiva, right? That's correct. You first of all offer to Jagannath, then Jagannath's prasadam is given to Shiva. If someone was going to give us that Shiva prasadam, that one we can accept that, because that was given to Jagannath first, then Lord Shiva, then we can take that. But if someone is just only giving it to Shiva and not giving it to Jagannath, that one we can't take that one.
No, true. It hasn't reached to the Supreme Lord.
Jayanti has some.
Yeah. It's mentioned that Shiva does not even accept it.
And then so Jayanti's point is that if you just offer the food just to Shiva, then he doesn't accept it. So that's also a point that the Shiva is a devotee of the Lord. So if you're not giving him the Lord's prasadam, he doesn't want to eat that food. It's like if you just give us some boga from the restaurant, it's not prasadam, we don't want to eat it. No. So also Shiva is a devotee of the Lord. You offer him prasadam, he's very happy. He's in ecstasy when he gets Lord Narayan's prasadam, Lord Vishnu's prasadam. There's so many pastimes about how Lord Shiva is in ecstasy to get Lord Narayan's Mahaprasadam, Vishnu's Mahaprasadam. But if you just offer him some boga, it's not prasadam from the Lord. He doesn't want it. So he might throw that to his ghost or something to eat. Okay. And so you're getting the ghost prasadam, like that. So that's the thing. But, people don't know who the Lord of Sacrifice is. And we see that whole pastime in Krishna book, right? Yeah. That Krishna's father and the cowherd men, Nanda Maharaj, they wanted to offer a sacrifice to Lord Indra. And Krishna stopped it. Yeah. Krishna stopped it. Because actually that's wrong, to just offer your sacrifice to Indra or other demigods. It should be offered to the Supreme Lord. So, and eventually the sacrifice was offered to Govardhan.
That Indra got and that got 7 days of non-stop raining.
Yeah, so that was the whole Govardhan pastime. Where Indra got upset that his sacrifice was stopped and he wanted to punish Krishna.
So Indra was in the ego as well.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah. He was thinking he was the Lord of Sacrifice, but Krishna had to cut down his pride, which he did. And then after that, then Indra came to Krishna in Braj and bowed down, dandavad at his feet, and offered nice prayers. So these beautiful prayers he offered after his pride was cut down. He became humble like that, and he realized what his real position was. So yeah, there's a lot of.
I offered the boga, and then I then meditated on Hanuman.
Okay, so today is Hanuman's appearance day.
Hanuman Jayanti, is it?
Yeah. So Jayanti offered the food to Krishna as we normally do, and then in her mind she offered that prasadam to Hanuman.
We have a little Hanuman in the house.
She's saying we have a little we've got a little Hanuman deity with Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. Yep. So we have Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman. So then in her mind she offered that Krishna's prasadam to Hanuman on this Hanuman Jayanti, like that. So that's correct. That's the proper way to offer a sacrifice. So there's another verse about the Lord of Sacrifice, 8th chapter, which, hang on, it's the page flipped over. 9th chapter, text 24. 9th chapter, text 24.
I'm the only enjoyer and the master of all sacrifices. Therefore, those who do not recognize my true transcendental nature fall down.
So that's very clear. Very clear, right? There's only one master of sacrifices. That's Krishna. That's very clear. And if you don't acknowledge that, if you don't recognize that, then down you go. Down you go. So that means you stay in ignorance in the material world. You don't get out of the material world. You get pushed down lower and lower If you think other people is the, you know, the Lord of sacrifice, then you're just going to become more and more in ignorance, you know. So Krishna's the boss, you know. If you don't please the boss, then you're not going to get a promotion. No promotion, mate. Sorry, you can stay sweeping the floor.
Life after life. We're not talking about this life. Life after life.
Yeah.
How many lives you can keep going like that?
Yeah.
Until you, in the end, you have to, you know.
Yeah. You know, I mean, any organization you're working in, you have to give proper respect, and, you know, acknowledge the boss. If you imagine you're working in Microsoft or, you know, IBM or something, and you ignore the boss, you know, you don't offer, then you're out, mate. You know, you're not going to get anywhere.
Yes,
You have to
100%.
give, you know, proper respect to the boss.
Yes.
You know, so like that. Everything in that organization is for the pleasure of the boss.
Yes.
You know, so like that, you know, Krishna made everything, you know. He's the proprietor, he's the owner of everything. Therefore, you know, everything should be offered to him. You know, everything should be enjoyed by him. Why is it that Krishna is the enjoyer of all sacrifices? Because everything belongs to him. You know, he created everything, he made everything. So he should be the one to enjoy it. You know, no one else has a right to enjoy it first. You know, everything should first be offered to Krishna because it all belongs to him. You know, so that's common sense, isn't it? You know, whoever the property belongs to, they should enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
You know, like at your place in Vine Street, you can't have other people come into your house and start using your fridge and using your bed and couch without at least talking to you about it. You know, they can't, without your, you know, permission and blessings or whatever, they can't. It's yours. It belongs to you. You know, so everything in your place in Vine Street, you know, it's for you to enjoy. I can't open your fridge and take out your drinks and everything and start drinking it. You know, that's yours to enjoy like that. So like that, everything in the universe is Krishna's. It's for his enjoyment. So intelligent people, they know that. They offer everything to Krishna. You know, offer the flowers to Krishna, offer the fruit to Krishna, offer the money to Krishna. Everything. We the body also. This body, Krishna made this body. We use this body also for Krishna's pleasure.
I mean, if you sometimes, you know, we had a fruit while we were in traveling there. So just offer that to Jagannath first, and then eat it. Because we don't over there, like while in the traveling, you can't set up the plate and the glass and the spoon and all that. So just put the hands up and just offer to Jagannath and then eat it. That, you know, the way we should have to anything.
Yeah.
If it's not like a lunchtime.
I just got to plug the laptop in.
Sure. It's like offering is not like if you are like, you know, the place and the circumstances when we were traveling, we can just put the hands up there and just offer to Jagannath and then we eat it, because we don't have an altar and then plates and all that there.
Yeah, no, that's fine. You know, so according to the circumstances, then you just adjust accordingly. If you don't have lots of facilities, you know, you can do it all, even offering food and that, any kind of sacrifice, you can do it in your mind, in meditation.
Yeah, you know? Well, while we were cooking over there, it wasn't an altar or anything. And because we were cooking that with we put that Prabhupada Kirtan next to that, and then we cooking in there. So just offering that to Prabhupada and then hopefully reach to Krishna. We don't have anything.
No, Krishna knows, you know, you're doing your best according to your circumstances. That's fine. So that was his first question here. Who is the Lord of Sacrifice? And he's saying, how does he live in the body? So Arjuna is not a fool, he's not thinking that he is the body. He knows that he's a soul, and the soul is living in the body. So that's the question, how is the soul living inside this body, like that? How did the soul get to be inside the body? That's a good question, If we're an eternal soul, how did we get to be in this body? That's a very good question. Why are we in this temporary body which is going to die? If I'm an eternal soul, why am I in this body? How is it that I am existing in this body? So that's a good question. And how can those engaged in devotional service know you at the time of death? So that's the number one question. The number one question is, how can we remember Krishna at the time of death? Like that. Because according to what you remember at the time of death, that determines where you go in the next life.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a big question. That's a big question. That where am I going to go in the next life? And am I going to remember Krishna at the end of this life?
Some people, they're just so close to their pets, and then there's one, I was watching that he was in India, that dog was very important to that. He took the dog to the temple and then boiled down with the dog's feet on the altar and then tilak to the dog. And then I was just thinking, I said, oh, okay, but next life he's gonna become a dog. So he's just that offering through the dog, and everything is just treating dog as his child.
Yeah.
And
but that's an offense, actually. That's an offense to take a dog inside a temple.
Yeah, he was. I was
because his dog is so moochy, is so dirty, and I know because we have a dog. Even in our house, the dog is not allowed. Not one step in the house. What to speak of in a temple?
Close to that.
We don't even allow the dog in our house. What to speak of allowing the dog into a temple? The dog is so moochy, and Krishna is the most clean person. There's no one is cleaner than Krishna. So you can't bring a dirty dog into Krishna's house, like that.
Yeah.
Of course, like when Jagannath goes outside the temple, Rath Yatra, then he gives darshan to the dogs and so forth. Like that, everyone can get the mercy there. But you can't take a dirty animal into his temple. If you do that, then you're going to get a reaction for that.
Definitely.
One time, actually, one man had some shoes that he was very attached to, and the usual system is you leave your shoes outside the temple. But he didn't want to risk that someone would steal his shoes.
Oh, seriously?
Yep. So he took the shoes off, but he kept them tucked in under his clothes.
Oh, okay.
He got them tucked under his clothes. So others couldn't see that he had brought his shoes into the temple.
And he went inside the temple.
He went in the temple with his shoes and his clothes. And so no one else saw, but he got terribly sick after he left the temple. Because Krishna knows.
Of course.
Krishna's rule is that, you don't bring your shoes into my temple, you leave them outside. And he broke Krishna's rule. So he got immediately a reaction. He got some terrible disease. And I think from memory, he died soon after. So that's an offense. That's called seva aparad. Seva aparad. That's an offense in our service to the Lord. So yeah, that's these things are there, So like that, you don't bring a dog into the temple like that. It's not acceptable.
I think next life they're gonna become a dog. If they are like, in the time of the death, they will remember what? They will remember whatever they did entire.
Yeah.
And then they end up with the dog.
Yeah. Okay, so and here Arjuna is calling Krishna, addressing Krishna by another name, Madhusudana.
Yeah.
So, and Prabhupada's going to explain the purport why he is using this name Madhusudana. But Madhu is one of the first demons, asuras, since the creation of the universe. He was like the first. Madhu and Kaitava. There were two asuras, Madhu and Kaitava. So they were the original demons. So, and Krishna killed them. The Lord killed them. So Sudana means like the killer. He's the killer of Madhu. So that's one of Krishna's names, Madhusudana. But there's a reason why Arjuna is using this name, and Prabhupada's going to explain it. So let's start the purport.
Yeah. Lord of sacrifice might refer to either Indra or Vishnu. Vishnu is the chief of primal demigods, including Brahma and Shiva. And Indra is the chief of administrative demigods. Both Indra and the Vishnu are worshipped by yagna performances. But here Arjuna asked who is actually the Lord of yagna, sacrifice, and how the Lord is residing within the body of the living entity.
Okay, so this is a little bit different than what I was indicating. Oh yeah, because it's got a capital H. See, it says in the translation, and how does he live in this body? So he is a capital H.
Yeah.
So capital H refers to God. If it was a small h, that means he is in the soul. That would be he, the soul. But because it's a capital H, I ignored to look at that. Because it's a capital H, it means how does he means the Paramatma. So how does God live in the body? So that's specifically what the question is. How does God live inside this body? What is the reason why God? You can leave the whole jug here, actually. How is it that God is living in this body, material body? Okay.
Arjuna addresses the Lord as Madhusudana because Krishna once killed a demon named as Madhu. Actually, these questions, which are of the nature of doubt, should not have arisen in the mind of Arjuna because Arjuna is a Krishna conscious devotee. Therefore, these doubts are like demons. Since the Krishna is so expert in killing demons, Arjuna here addressed as Madhusudana, so that Krishna might kill the demonic doubt that arises in Arjuna's mind.
So you can see how
it's pretty much our questions. It's Arjuna asked Krishna. Pretty much our like every human questions through Arjuna we're asking Krishna.
Yeah.
Is it?
So that's Krishna has arranged it that Arjuna, who's a pure devotee, he's been put under kind of Maya.
Yeah.
Arjuna, by Krishna's arrangement, is put into a kind of Maya, kind of illusion, for our benefit, so that he can ask these questions that we have, and we can get the answers.
Our behalf. Yes.
Yeah, we can get the answers. So doubts are compared to demons. So, and Krishna is the killer of demons, Madhusudana. So that's a very good name of Krishna to use in this circumstance. That, hey, Krishna, I have these demon-like doubts, and you're the killer of demons. So you please remove these demon-like doubts from my mind, like that. So intelligent, actually. There's these personalities like Arjuna, so intelligent. You know, even every single word they use has a reason. There's a reason why they use. Even why are they addressing Krishna by a particular name? There's a reason for that. That particular name fits in with what their question is.
any question he was asking that, it was all Krishna's arrangement anyway.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So, end of the day, if he makes you or me or Arjuna to ask any question, he can covered by the illusion, and then we ask a question. And if we add the illusion, and then it means, it's like end of the day, he's the final authority. Who wants to be an illusion? Who doesn't? So we just put the hands up. I'm done. Pretty much.
But it's so true. Like devotees being very intelligent. It just reminds me.
Can you hear Gulshan, what she's saying?
Yeah, I'm trying to listen. What did you say, Mataji?
Devotees being intelligent. But I was just recalling, like when Dad and I were talking, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Dad and I were also discussing this morning. So I don't know if you read for an offering for Prana Prabhu was made by Nandini, Suhrit Krishna Prabhu's daughter.
Okay.
I mean, that kid is probably just about 12 years old or maybe 10 years old or something.
Yeah.
I'll send it to you also. You can read it. But it is amazing. She's talking like, oh, this chariot that came and took you. How was it? How was who else was there on the chariot? I mean, who thinks of those kind of things to say to someone who's passed away? But and she's got a whole thing. Oh, have you got a Vaikuntha or they've taken you somewhere else? This is
a question or Krishna's question, Arjuna's question to Krishna, pretty much, same conversation. Like,
I mean, I'm just saying it is a very intelligent kind of thought that that child's imagination has even gone to that extent that this Prana Prabhu's left. I mean, she's also mentioned some stuff about what he said to her because they have met many times since she was a baby. He knows her and everything. So she knows him quite well. But then all this also she's talking and it's amazing, It's very beautiful.
Because it's said that at the time of death, the Vishnu Dutas come in a chariot. The Vishnu Dutas come in a chariot to take the soul of the devotee to go back to Godhead. So that's where she's picked it up. That well, what kind of chariot have you?
Yeah.
They come and how many? Who else is in the chariot? And so that's pretty amazing that she's thinking along those lines here.
It's all about about the association, where you're associating with that. That's where the question comes. That if you sit down with the people, with the money-minded people, and then this question would not come. Even if it comes, that you will not get the answer. If you're sitting in the temple or you're sitting in the conference where they are, planning to have in the share market or whatever their material people, like where you're sitting with that, and that matters. Otherwise, if you're asking this question with the sitting in your business meeting, A, you wouldn't get the answer. B, if you do get the answer, it will not be a proper authorities. So if you sit in the temple and ask a question, you probably will get the answer.
Correct.
That's the situation. I think her situation was she's on the right place to ask the right question and she got the right answer. So.
And I mean, like if we look at one of the essential verses of Bhagavad Gita, 10:10.
Oh yeah, 10:10.
We've talked about this before, 10:10.
10:10. Yes, I know the comic.
Yeah.
To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with a love, I give them understanding by which they can come to me. Like, Krishna says, I'm the intelligence. I give them intelligence to understand. Like, those who are devotee or dear to me. Like, I mean,
so those who are devoted, they get special intelligence. So they're another level higher than the rest.
In 1999, I went to the Falcon Street in Sydney, the temple, with the boys, and then I got one Bhagavad Gita. I read that. On that time, it looked like just a story. See? And then now every line has got a different meaning. Because your association, Krishna says, okay, now I have to give an understanding of that. On that time, 25 years ago, was not.
Yeah.
I read that too.
And now, now you're daily doing service now, so like he's saying there, if you're constantly serving me with love. So when you daily serving Krishna, then he's very pleased. He's very pleased by your commitment. You're committed to serving him with love. And then he's going to reciprocate more and give you, get rid of your doubts, remove your doubts, and give you knowledge how to go back to Godhead.
That's right.
That special mercy. And then that's in the next verse, 10:11. That's a special mercy. And it's actually mentioned exactly what we're talking about here in 10:11.
Yeah.
That he's in the heart. And he destroys the darkness of ignorance with the shining torch of lamp of knowledge. Do you want to read that one?
It's to show them special mercy, I dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp knowledge, darkness born of ignorance. I mean, he's not whether you're atheist or you're devotee or you're demon, or he's always there. But when you are in the service of Krishna, then light glows. If you are serving yourself or serving others, the light doesn't glow.
Yeah, so like he's saying, special mercy.
Even the demon also.
Yeah. So once you take up the path of devotion, then you get special mercy. And what is that special mercy? That you get enlightened from within by the Lord. You get enlightened from within. And that's mercy, that's mercy. And there's nothing you can do to get that. Giant is saying that the conversation's breaking up a bit. I think we should sign out. It's coming up to 1 hour.
Connect again.
Let's sign out and come back in.